Welcome into the door of psychic experience. Ask and you will be given what you ask for. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened. For everyone who asks receives. Anyone who seeks finds. If only you will knock, the door will open, and the truth within your higher spiritual self will be revealed to you. Come now with us and go where angels come, and you can too. Hello, welcome to Psychic Experience. I'm Reverend Doris Horvath, the host of the show. It's being presented by the First Spiritualist Church in the City Heights area. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're a metaphysical spiritual talk show, and anything that's spontaneous is bound to happen. It always does. So stay right where you are. You're going to be very entertained. We're the church where angels come, and so can you. We have earth angels in our church, our pastor, Reverend Deborah Feldman, myself, assistant pastor, also our licentiate ministers, Celine Clark and Marcella Jones, and Reverend Pete Monroe is our minister of healing, and his wife is Fran Monroe, and she also is a minister in our church. And we have so many wonderful things going on. This time of the year is absolutely fantastic. This evening we have a person who is a very special, gifted person, and I can't wait to introduce her to you. I'm going to tell you just a little bit about her before we start. Her name is Dr. Jerriann Tabor. She's a PhD, and she has been in the healing arts over 30 years, and she is a very beautiful lady with her work of helping people get their vision back to where it should be. She's owner and director of the Vision Training Institute in El Cajon, California, and she teaches the Bates method of vision training. She's a teacher, healer, hypnotherapist, and ordained minister. And I didn't know it before that you were ordained in the First Spiritualist Church. That's wonderful. Okay, and she's also a PhD in psychology too. She is a multi-gifted therapist and has her innovative and creative ways with the divine inspiration that has led to the development of rapid healing techniques. When I first met Dr. Jerriann, she was working in the Kairos Institute in Encinitas 30 years ago, and she said she doesn't even remember that. So I'd like her to say hello to you right now, then we're going to get into some questions.
Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here to share with you all about the rapid healing technique. It's a real honor.
And I notice you're not wearing glasses.
No.
You don't need them.
No.
Okay. Well, tell the audience, please, what is rapid healing technique all about? What is it?
Well, rapid healing technique is all about healing very quickly. This came to me through a whole kind of period of inspiration. It removes fears instantly, and I use it in my work with my vision training students. And I had a friend who actually channeled some information that was absolutely fantastic about the karmic energy patterns.
Well, I'm sure that was meant for you to have.
I was just like, I read it and I was so excited about it. And all of a sudden I realized, well, this is wonderful information, but it doesn't tell you what to do, how to heal it. So what I did is took the basic tool of the rapid healing technique and combined it with the karmic energy patterns, and you can remove fears, anger, frustration, all negative feelings very instantly. Anything that you know is instantly removed, and then you can also remove past life traumas, which usually manifest in the present day, and we find they're from past lives. and works on the meridian system and belief systems. So anything that you know about, it can be very quickly removed. And then things that you don't know about, like symptoms, things that come in the body and we have symptoms, are really just things that are in the unconscious and they're not up to our being known to our conscious mind. But you can also remove those too, using the karmic energy patterns.
Do you access this in any ways through hypnotherapy or meditation?
You don't need to do hypnotherapy, but because I'm a hypnotherapist, there are times when I do have people that come to me for hypnotherapy that I use it, and once we get to the issue, then I remove it very quickly.
Is that permanent?
Yes.
How many
Sometimes
treatments?
you have layers.
Oh,
you
yes.
know, and so you're removing layers of things. But I had a gentleman, about a year or so ago, who was really in deep crisis, and it was phenomenal, but it was much quicker than your typical therapy.
So it happened just in one meeting?
No, there were several, 4 or 5 sessions.
Oh, right.
But it was like a deep issue. It would have taken probably a year.
I'm sure it would have some other way.
Right.
What makes it so revolutionary?
Well, it's revolutionary because it's very quick, number one, and the other is that you learn to be your own healer.
Well, that certainly is
learn
wonderful.
To heal yourself.
Instead of taking drugs.
Absolutely.
I'm all for that. You have a very interesting picture over here that I think the audience really needs to see this, because it seems like it's connected to how it works and what it does for people.
Well, this symbol is on the front of my book.
All right.
And it's very representative. This symbol was given to me in meditation long before the rapid healing technique began to come forth. And it was done in crayon and colors and so forth. And I had it in my office, and as time went on, as this method began to emerge, and it came in stages and so forth, all of a sudden one day I realized that's why I got this symbol. And it's coming from the heart.
Okay.
As you work with the system, you actually learn to balance your system and come from your heart. And that's what this is all about.
Well, that's interesting.
From the heart.
That's interesting, because one of the beliefs in our spiritual church is that the heart is another type of a brain that we all have.
Right.
That's why there's so many references to the heart in the Bible.
Right. And you have to come from your heart, and sometimes the heart is all covered over with negativity. And that's what the rapid healing technique's all about, is to clearing the negativity so you can get to your heart.
Do you access the chakra of the heart at the same time?
Yes. Right. We work with the entire energetic system. And over here...
That is really beautiful.
...is representative of the energetic system.
All right.
And we work with all 4 bodies. We have the physical body in the middle here, the emotional body, the mental body, and the spiritual body.
All right.
And of course the chakras are all part of that. It's part of our energetic system. It's like our house has an electrical system, and so do we. So our chakras are all part of our electrical system. And we have meridians where energy runs in our body. So this is very fascinating, because it works a lot like, when you go to an acupuncturist, they use needles and they actually are opening up meridian lines and clearing emotions and various things in the body. Well, the rapid healing technique actually does that also.
Okay.
And I've learned this by just my students that I work with have taught this to me, because I would say, well, let's try the rapid healing technique.
Well, is that how you were just sort of inspired to develop
Well, I started using the basic tool, just removing fears.
Oh, all right.
And then, as people had different conditions, I said, well, let's see if we can do something with the rapid healing technique. So one of my students was she was a she knew all about the acupuncture, and she wrote a book on acupuncture. And she had a stomach problem that was very severe. She'd had it for weeks and was not getting anywhere. So
Poor
I said,
lady.
well, let's work with it on the rapid healing technique. So we did, and she was very aware of her body, and she could feel the meridians. She said, oh, that meridian's moving, and clear it, and she could feel it moving and actually removing itself and opening up the blocks.
Wow.
So it was. I learned a lot from other people as I worked with it.
That sounds like a wonderful
interesting
benefit.
process.
What other benefits do you have from this method?
Well, the main benefit is that it removes negative emotions. It removes past lives. It works on the cellular level. And it also, you can remove belief systems that don't work for you.
Like something that you had when you were 10 years old, maybe?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of belief systems are gained, you pick them up early in life. Someone makes a statement and you take it on. So when you, as an adult, you look at it and you say, well, that isn't serving me, but it's there. So you can clear it.
It's sort of like mental garbage, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Right.
Would you like to show us the cover of your book right now?
Sure.
Beautiful, beautiful cover.
This is the book.
And while you're holding it there, in your title, you're saying that the rapid healing technique is a tool for transformation. What do you mean by that?
Okay, what I mean by that is transformation is another word for ascension. And just being on a spiritual path, which all of us are on a spiritual path of some kind. When you're on a spiritual path, you are working on clearing out your energetic system. And when you get your energetic system clear, then you can ascend or just be here as your higher self and work on the planet, whatever a person really decides to do with their evolution of spirit as they evolve. So it is a tool that you can do that if you so desire.
With this involvement you're talking about is like raising your consciousness to a higher level?
You're raising your consciousness.
Higher level of awareness?
In fact, one of the neat things about this, you can just begin on a spiritual journey or you can finish a spiritual journey, depending where each soul is. And as you work with the system and as you clear out negativity, the more you become in touch and connected to your higher self.
Right.
So as you do that, you evolve, and what you start out with a basic tool of removing fears, actually later on you evolve into, how can I put it? For instance, I have a signal. Do you know what I mean by a signal? Like I started out with the basic tool. Now I don't have to do that anymore. I have a signal from Spirit that works with me and through me.
Is that sort of with a trigger? You can put the book down now.
Okay.
Is that like you're triggering something for something else to happen?
Well, I'm trying how to describe a signal. Signal is, for instance, my sister. Her signal is she's very clairvoyant.
Oh,
so she sees a whole whirlwind of butterflies come in and actually clear out when she works on other people. So everyone will have their own personal sort of signal from their higher self.
And what is her name?
Her name is Rachel Hannigan.
Rachel. Oh. Do we get to meet her too?
Well, you could probably.
Someday.
Sure. Yeah.
So when she sees butterflies,
she sees butterflies and sees them like in a whirlwind.
Oh.
And they, and everyone will have their signal will be very unique to them.
Well, what does that bring? I mean,
what you're doing is you're connecting with your higher self.
Okay.
And your higher self is actually doing the healing. And when you work on other people, you're connecting with you're surrogating. You surrogate with the other person, and you actually are working with their higher self.
So when she sees butterflies, that means to her that there's actions
that she's clearing out
that something's
negativity.
Working.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I've never heard of that before. That's a new one.
Well, that's one. I had another student that when she had her signal, she got a sensation right in her third eye and in her heart. She felt that. That was her signal.
What was that, sort of like a buzzing?
Just a sensation.
A sensation,
like
a pulsing.
A pulsing type thing. And I myself, my signal is in my eyes. I guess I'm a vision trainer.
Of course it would be.
Eyes.
that's what your business is. Why not?
Right. So.
Okay. All right. Well, how do people go about learning the rapid healing techniques?
Well, they can. Okay.
With your books or workshops?
They can learn it all from the book.
Oh, all right.
And also, some people like to have, someone show them how to do things, or they like the hands-on. Mm-hmm. And I also give workshops teaching how to do it.
Well, I think Reverend Deborah Feldman, our pastor, is going to want to talk to you.
Absolutely.
About that.
Yeah.
All right. What fields would benefit from the rapid healing technique?
Say that again. What?
Well, I'm reading your questions here, and you're saying what fields would benefit from the rapid healing technique?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you very well. It's very beneficial in anyone in any other type of healing arts. Counselors, teachers, therapists, body workers, anyone who really deal with people and helping them with their emotions. It would be a wonderful tool to assist in whatever modality that anyone might be in, that they're in the healing arts of working with people. So it could be a great asset to help them.
Would it help doctors and nurses in a hospital setting even?
I think so, yes, it could.
If they were receptive?
Yes, if they were open to it, definitely.
Okay. Well, do you teach others to do the rapid healing technique in your private practice, or do you just give workshops? I think you do both.
I do both. All my students that come to me for vision training, I teach it to them. Because the whole purpose of this book and of writing this book, which has taken me 2 years, is to give people their power. And I want the book out there for people who would like to know more about it and actually learn it and apply it in their life. And it definitely does give you your own power to be your own healer.
That's great.
And some people need a little help, but that's why we have myself and people that are actually would learn it to want to help others too.
Well, that's always been one of the things that we talk about in our church, that we know that people always need to go see a doctor and get their opinion and all that. But let's say maybe it's not working exactly like we'd like it to.
Right.
Maybe something's missing, and so you've got the missing link.
Right.
And if they can stop taking their prescription and they know how to heal themselves because of your book or you're teaching them.
If something isn't working, it's really good to clear out why the person is having that problem, the root cause, and you can go to the root cause and remove that. Then the body can really do its healing.
Right.
But if anyone has, I never recommend they go off medication unless it's their own choice.
Unless it's making them
there's
sick
many
or something.
things, that people need to have their medical doctors make sure they're doing what they should. But there might become a time when they won't need that anymore.
Well, that's true, and I think there's just too many people. There's a lot of people in our society now that are over-medicated.
Absolutely.
And I really feel sorry for them. And anytime I can hear about something that will help people to maybe slowly get off from it, or maybe right away, this would be for them.
Absolutely.
It would open a new door of understanding for them.
Right.
So they can get well and be happy.
Right. I don't know, everyone's in a different place, but in my book I talk about the causes of diseases. So, dis-ease you're at dis-ease with life.
Yes, that's a good way of putting it. I like that.
And so you can work on more on a deeper level and still do whatever you need to do medically until finally you don't need to do medically anymore.
Right. Well, I've always believed that God wants us to be healthy.
Yes.
And I feel like there's always something that someone can do. If you've have the answers for people, this is a fantastic gift that you have to give to others. Could you tell us one of your favorite stories that you have? Maybe something that's happened over the period of years that you thought was outstanding, of being able to help someone in a very special way?
I have to think about that.
You probably have hundreds of stories.
I'm trying to think if there was something.
Just maybe something that's on the tip of your head. Maybe something like what we were talking about earlier about someone losing someone.
Right. Well, I'm trying to go back in my mind over something to do with the rapid healing. Well, I did tell you the little story about the lady with the stomach problem and how it cleared up, and that was very satisfying as a teacher to know that you can, help people. Trying to think, of course, I've helped many people see clearly again.
Well, that in itself is a fantastic gift, because eyesight and vision is so important, especially in our society. It may not be so serious in another country where there's not a lot going on like there is here.
Right.
But in this country, having your eyesight is so important.
Right.
And not having to wear glasses. I mean, I get so tired of running around my house trying to find my glasses. It drives me nuts. Ever since I heard about what you're doing, that was a long time ago, I thought, this is something I've got to do. And I'm sure there's other people who think the same way. They know they've got to do it. Well, it's time to do something about it.
There is a way.
Yeah, there is. Yes.
I do private work and group classes, so it's very affordable.
I'm sure that people that sell glasses aren't too happy about this.
Well, there are always people who will buy glasses.
But if they care about humanity, I'm sure they understand that people would like to not have to wear the darn things. Right. They didn't have to. I think that as time goes by here, you have some teachers, evidently, that are going to help you write a second book.
Yes.
Because that's the way it is with spirituals. There's always going to be the communication.
Actually, I've already started
with the teachers. It's already started?
I've already started it.
And they already gave you a title?
Yes.
That's usually the way it happens.
It's Rapid Healing Technique 2, A Guide to Being Your Higher Self.
Oh, right.
Which will go in more depth than, this teaches you how to do it and how to work with the whole system. But we'll go into a little more in depth on all of the issues.
That's great. That'll be a second workshop for you, too.
Yeah.
Maybe there'll even be a third one.
Right. Never know.
You're going to be busy for a long time here.
Right.
Well, there's nothing like not having time to be bored, because writing takes up a lot of time.
Certainly does.
It's very time-consuming.
Yes.
Well, you have a beautiful book, and I'm so happy that you could share that with us.
Thank you for having me. I really have enjoyed this.
It seems like, though, it takes a long time to get a book published.
It does. I was very amazed at it's like 1 year and 9 months to the day.
Because actually in May we were talking about doing TV together.
Right. And I thought it would be a lot sooner. It wasn't.
Well, that's a lesson for me. I'm thinking about writing a book myself.
Yeah.
But this is quite different. I'm not going to say what it is.
Yeah.
It's sort of strange.
Well, they're always fun.
Yes, they are.
Yes.
So, what is your next thing that you're going to do besides write a second book? What's your next goal besides that?
Well, I think I would love to, definitely give workshops to just help people become more masters of the whole process.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to do a certification?
I could, if there were enough people that wanted to actually become therapists, I call it RHT, Rapid Healing Technique therapists, definitely would do that.
Great.
Because I think it's such a wonderful assistance. For instance, when people are in heavy-duty emotions, then they could use a little help. And that's where a therapist would come in handy.
Well, thank you so much for coming and sharing with us.
Thank you for having me. It's been a real pleasure.
After all these years, I saw you so long ago. It's a miracle.
Yes, it is.
Well, I want to thank our crew and everyone that's listening. Please keep tuned in because we're always going to be there for you. First Spiritualist Church, where angels come and so can you. Look at our credits and get the phone number, write it down, and be sure to call us.